Welcome to our mountains. I'm Rhonda Brashear, and I'm in downtown Pineville, Kentucky in the beautiful Bell Theater. It's a gorgeous venue. And with me today, we are so pleased to announce Jimmy Rose is our guest today. Jimmy, thank you so much for being with us today on our mountains.
Well, you're welcome. It's an honor, and thanks for coming to our little town.
Well, we've looked forward to this for a long time. We really have.
We're excited. This little town's small. If you blink your eye and you go by, you'll miss it. But we got a lot of pride here and a lot of history here.
How did you get into music? What interested you?
Well, you know, growing up, just like every little small town, country family, country home, Mom had us in church, and there was an opportunity. She would ask me to get up and sing with her from time to time, and you know, just kind of one of those ways to expose yourself to an audience, to a crowd, and sing and rejoice and sing for the Lord. And it just kind of trickled from there. I never did pick the guitar up, though, until I joined the military, or even started writing songs. I was away from home, away from friends, family, and I was on ship in the middle of the Pacific, and there's a boy from West Virginia, one of my Marines, his name's Jason Boland. He brought a guitar on ship and showed me a few chords, and it just kind of took off. Took off from there. I always loved to sing, and I always loved to get up and sing karaoke and things like that. And in the room with the guys, you know, just loved to sing and to entertain, but it never did write music until I put the guitar in my hand and made that connection, that physical connection. And it's just been like a snowball effect from that.
Wow. Now, we all got acquainted with you last year on America's Got Talent. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, last year was it was a whirlwind for us all, you know, for this little town. It wasn't all about Jimmy Rose. It was, I'm a reflection of this area, and it showed. This town stood behind me, this community stood behind me, the people. You know, Cold Keeps the Lights On was my first audition. And, you know, and within 2 hours, that song had over 28 million tweets worldwide. Trended not just nationwide, but worldwide. And that's a direct reflection of the Cold Nation and how strong we are here in Appalachia. America's Got Talent gave me some great opportunities. I got to meet some amazing people, great talent. I played some venues unbelievable to look at. MGM Grand in Las Vegas, the Greek Theater in LA, the Fox in Atlanta. We done a nationwide tour after the show ended. You know, I've seen a lot of places.
What was your favorite place to play?
My favorite place, I'd say, would have to be the Orpheum in Memphis. It's such a historical place. You could feel the history in that theater. You know, Radio City was huge. I called it the Grand Ole Opry of New York, and I've not played the opera yet, but that's to me that would be the ultimate venue to play, because as an artist alone, you know, as a country music artist alone, that's where you want to play.
Right, of course.
America's Got Talent opened a lot of doors for me. I'm grateful to the show. A lot of people ask me what was the most memorable moment on the show, and it wasn't Radio City. It wasn't all that. It was my first audition, because that first audition defined who I was. That first audition, the world accepted me, and they accepted me through my original song,
which was Cold Keeps the Lights On. That was my next question. How did you come about writing that song?
That song was inspired and was written for this hometown, the Bobcats and the Mountain Lions, Pineville and Bell County. That's how come when you heard it on the show, it mentions the Bobcats and the Mountain Lions. This area has taken such a direct hit with the war on coal. I've seen a lot of my friends, a lot of my family members, and a lot of their family members suffer from this war, lose their jobs, their homes, repossess their vehicles. You walk to the schools and you talk to the kids, and see what devastation it's done to this area. My daddy was a coal miner, Jimmy. Do you know my daddy? Do you know my uncle? You know, I know you from that show, America's Got Talent. You sung Cold Keeps the Lights On. And I wrote it for this area because of suffering. I wrote it probably 2.5 years ago. I didn't write it directly to audition with. I auditioned with that song for Texaco Country Showdown several years back. And, you know, I wrote that song in support of the miners and the families of the miners and the small towns and the small businesses, the schools, and these people that are losing their way of life, their heritage. It's in our blood, it's in our veins.
Yes, it is.
And
I'm a coal miner's daughter myself, and both grandfathers were coal miners too, so I'm from a long line of coal families.
Mhm.
So I understand and feel the same way you do about it.
It's when you take away the coal mining jobs and take away our heritage, it hits us right here.
Yes, it does.
And you know, you're that little girl in that sundress.
That's
and
right.
I worked underground almost 2 years, and I've been there. I've done that. I've got coal in my knees and in my lungs. I'm sure I wrote it from experience, but I wrote it out of my heart, because when that song was sung on national television, one of the judges didn't even know what coal was.
Yeah.
They edited that part, and she asked what was coal, and she didn't get a good response from the crowd, should I say, but she still gave me a standing ovation, and it was because of, it didn't just speak of coal, it spoke of hardship.
Right.
And people,
Right.
everyone has been there, and at some point in time has experienced hardship. It's real life stuff, it's true. That song is the book opened up, the life of a miner and the families in the small towns, and I wrote that song for us, and now I'm sharing it with the world.
Well, what's next for Jimmy Rose?
Well, today is actually the official release of my Coal Keeps the Lights on iTunes. I have some major decisions being made on my career right now, and I don't know where all this is going. You know, I leave it in God's hands, and I tell that to everybody that I speak to. I acknowledge Him. He gets my talent. He can take it in an instant, and I'm not ashamed to acknowledge Him anywhere I go. But I'm going to always do this. No matter where you see me, I'll be singing and picking and playing and writing. But I have some major decisions being made, and it really depends on those decisions where this goes for me. If it's not through a major label, I'll do this independently as hard as I can go. But I have to be patient and await these decisions. But got a lot of music, a lot for the world to hear, and I'm excited.
Jimmy, thank you so much for being with us today. I see you've got your guitar.
I do. It's not just a prop.
All right, folks, when we come back after this break, we're going to have some Jimmy Rose music, so please stay tuned. We'll be right back.